Hi everybody, welcome to Deb's Way, and I'm Deb. You are here for another hashtag Tea Tuesday. And I'm having Gold Peak iced tea right now, sweetened with cane sugar. It is very refreshing to me right now on this hot, hot day. Very hot and humid here today. Yes, it is. But this is nice and cold and very quenching. It looks like we've got a couple of storms barreling down on us today, or this week I should say. There's a storm that looks like it's going to be hitting the west coast of Florida and going into the Gulf area. It could actually go up into the North Gulf area, which would be Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, who knows where it might end up going ashore. That's the smaller of the two. And then there's a bigger storm behind it that it looks like so far it might just go right over Florida, meaning right through the central area of Florida. So we're kind of waiting to see how that goes. The thing with a hurricane or a tropical storm is, yes, it can be churning away out at sea for days, sometimes weeks even. And you just never know really exactly where it's going to come ashore. You just don't know where it's going to hit. So there's days of anticipation and preparation, definitely. And I guess right now we're in the stage of anticipation because we do have a storm readiness box ready to go anytime we need it. And we have our little power units to put into use if we do happen to lose power. So we are pretty well situated for any possible outages because of the hurricane. So let's see, that's coming up, and I don't know, I think it was supposed to be hitting by the end of the week, I'm not sure. And that could have changed by now too. Because the path of the storm seems to change, almost daily type of thing. They just never know for sure where it's going to come ashore. They have so many different projections of its path until it actually comes ashore. So anyway, we got out and around earlier this morning. We had to. We're expecting a delivery this afternoon sometime. And so we're all excited about that and, just anticipating receiving it. It's going to be something new for William, and it's something that he really does need to use. So we're anxious about getting it, yeah. Hopefully it does arrive before too long, and we're able to show a little bit of it here in this video. But we were out and around early this morning to get errands done, so we're home all of this afternoon awaiting the delivery of the item. And so we started our day out actually at the grocery store, yes. And that alone, nowadays, it's kind of, apprehensive. It leads to apprehension, going to the grocery store. The last few times that I've been there, the last few weeks, I go with my list, and I was not able to find everything on my list, which was normally things that we purchased every week, just weekly goods. So I had to substitute for what I really wanted and make do. Now, this week, I did notice there were some empty shelves, and for being so early in the week, I was surprised with that. Prices are pretty much the same. I was really surprised to find vegetables. The vegetable area has always been so well stocked in the past, but it wasn't today. Still, I did find everything I wanted, and even something that I had been looking for the past few weeks there and was never able to find. They had some in stock, and I bought it today. Anyway, let me show you a little film clip here of our grocery shopping trip. At the grocery store here. And it is Tuesday, beginning of the week pretty much. I'm surprised to see the empty and kind of the bare looking shelves over there. And over here too. Oh, and even in that one. Things are usually much better stocked here. Got some nice looking acorn squash here. I just get a little one. Oh, I can't get it out. He is wedged in there really good. Oh, no. There we go. And yes, I may as well stock up on this. I think people are stocking up on the water because we have supposedly a couple storms, hurricane possibilities heading our way, and water is always one thing that is well stocked up on. Not too bad. And these shelves are pretty well stocked yet. And also the canned goods are looking pretty good. Okay. I have my kitchen pantry shelves full, and the sub-pantry shelves are pretty full too. So I'm doing pretty good with canned goods and dry goods and that sort of thing. For 2 weeks now, I've looked for these buns here in the store, and they were all out every time I looked. But today they had 2 packages left, and today these 2 packages are mine. This is William's favorite bologna, Oscar Mayer beef thick cut, and they haven't had this in the store for months. Prices, when they only have the 2, I'm not going to get both. They only had one other one, but I'm not going to get the second one. We'll freeze this one. He doesn't eat it that often. Okay. Here we come to the meat counter. I'm going to show you prices here. So yes, that was, well, it was almost $160 later. We were fully stocked up for another week of our normal weekly purchases. So we're good to go. And after that, well, oh, I had to buy such a big bag of tomatoes at the store because we like these Tasty Lee tomatoes. And they only had the one small bag of them, but it was like 3 pounds. So we have plenty of tomatoes to last us for quite a while. We decided when we got home to make tomato sandwiches for lunch, and that's what we had. And it was so good. I don't know if many of you are. I was never really familiar with tomato sandwiches until I took a trip to Canada years ago. And where we were staying, my friend's cousin made us tomato sandwiches. And it was sliced tomatoes, salted and peppered, on toast. That was, you spread mayonnaise on the toast, put the tomatoes on the toast. You can put lettuce on there if you want, and that's it. It was so refreshing, and I still think the same thing about a tomato sandwich today. And that's what we had for lunch. It was very good. And then right after lunch, I had a little grooming session with Ginger. She was looking really scraggly looking. And I decided that I needed to take a scissors to her and trim her up a bit. So this is what I did. Let me show you.
Make it your style. You know, are you minimal, discreet, beautiful, classic, gorgeous, deep bracelets, easy. You could just do one. You could get 3 and give 1 to each.
See this
Give 1 to each daughter.
ragamuffin?
One of these, you guys.
Yeah, she's a little ragamuffin, but she's all mine. Aren't you? I called her a little rag doll the other day when somebody was asking me about her, because when I hold her, you know, like when I try and hold her up, she just kind of flops around until she's had enough, and then she squirms. And get your leg back on there. She is blowing coat. She doesn't really have a lot of undercoat, but she's blowing what she does have. And she needs a little trim. So we, meaning me, I'm going to give her a little trim today. I've got my grooming shears, and we're going to go to town here. She doesn't really need a lot of trimming, but she's got some scraggly areas here that I just need to neaten up. So here I go. And she's telling me, hurry up. It's time for my afternoon nap. For all of you out there that are wondering, I am not a trained groomer. I just kind of watched at the dog shows, watched how her breeder trimmed their dogs to show, and started grooming. Now, I showed Shelties many years ago, like I mentioned before, and I, learned how to groom them. But this is a little different. I've never done so much trimming. I've never had such a little dog.
These do not get locked up. These get to be on your wrist all the time because they're that kind of easy style. They look great and they're natural.
Okay, so this is basically what I'm going to be doing, and I've taken a bit off of her here. Just trimming up the long hairs here, getting rid of that, making her look a little bit less shaggy. So I'm going to continue on here. I'll bring it back when I have her all done, okay? And trust me, she won't be looking like a sad dog on the table when I'm done either. She'll come to life and be the Ginger that I know and love. All right, I'll bring you back. Oh, there's a plane that just happens to be going across now. Let's see, we're done. I'm done trimming her. She's outside. Oh yeah, you tell that plane, get out of my yard. Yeah. And see how chipper she is? No longer a rag doll. And you can't tell me she doesn't feel good. I know she does. Okay, she went back in. It's hot out here. So yes, Ginger did not like it, but she looks so much better. And her hair, the texture of her coat has changed a bit with age now. She was really beginning to show signs of her age. I'm looking at her here on the floor, and she's looking up at me like, who are you talking to again? I am talking to all those people out there who really think you are such a little cutie. She says, thank you, I am. You know, hey. Anyway, okay, now she's gonna go lay down on her rug. What else? I groomed, and I started supper, which I like to let simmer for a couple of hours. I decided to make a pot of goulash, and I do that in the Instant Pot nowadays. And I always have to do an extra, well, it's a couple servings actually, an extra couple servings of pasta, because William loves a lot of pasta in his goulash. I don't. So I make it the way I like it, and I make a side dish of pasta for him that he can add to it all and mix it all up however he wants to. So anyway, I put that together here too. Let me show you that. That's my mother's goulash. And, well, that's what I call my mother's goulash. She actually made it more plain than I do. and that my brother does. When he makes it, he adds kidney beans in it and a lot of different veggies, and it's all good. It's all good. I've done that too before. I've had beans in mine before, but I really don't like it that well. But I do like adding the corn to it. She never added that. I'll add a little bit of green pepper to it. Yeah, she never did that either. Hers was pretty plain, really, compared to what I do, and I thought mine was pretty plain. But it is very tasty and very good. So, anyway, that's what we're having for supper tonight. And that, unless I add another little clip on the end here, is the end of my Tea Tuesday. Yep. It's been a busy day, and I'm ready to call it a day, but we still have a few things to do yet. But anyway, I hope you're all having a good one out there. You take care, and I'll be talking to you again real soon. But for this time around, happy Tea Tuesday. Bye for now. There's William's new toy, a power wheelchair, just freshly out of the box, and we've got it charging up. So he'll get to test drive it tomorrow. It came just right after we finished supper. But he's anxious to get it out on the road.